Hey guys, Edre here, and today I'm going to be doing a brand new album review. I'm going to be reviewing the new album from Belarusian, I hope that's how you say it, band Molchat Doma, Monument. This is a band, a bit like I do with all my reviews. I start with a bit of background. Molchat Doma really grabbed my attention when I saw a lot of people really posting their stuff, and I noticed that they seem to have a bit of a rise of popularity on TikTok, which is an app I don't use, nor do I have any desire to use, but it's impossible to ignore. Their sound is a very Eastern European, dark 80s synth pop. Not really synth pop, more dark wave, new wave synth. And since I first heard them, I've had mixed feelings on them. I feel like they get a bit too much praise, even from Pitchfork and those kind of outlets, mainly due to their well-executed sound, which I will agree is pretty. They are really good at what they do. They craft their music quite well. Overall, all the music they seem to record is well-crafted and well-executed. I have no real complaints with the actual end result of some of this music, but most of my criticism really ends up lying on the style of music. And on this album, Monument, Molchat Doma continues to stick to their Eastern European synth roots, despite their much more widespread success, which they hadn't seen on their previous albums. And, I give them credit for sticking to this sound. They're sticking to what they know best, and they're sticking to what people like. I do, in fact, have some criticisms, though. First off, the guitar sounds do peek their way into this album. This album really does stick heavily on the synth stuff without really exploring that much further. And, this very 80s throwback sound really does dominate the sound on this album. I don't feel like it's really anything that really adds that much to the genre or the progression of it. In many ways, it feels like a nostalgia act, and it feels like they're just revisiting that style because it works, but it doesn't really feel like they're moving the genre in any new directions that bands in the 80s, 90s to now haven't already done much better. And it's going to be hard for me. It might be a shorter review because I probably won't go into each and every track simply because it's hard for me to pronounce each and every one of them. But unfortunately also because a lot of the tracks really do blend together. And I know that that's a negative because usually when things blend together it's not good. It mainly has to do with the fact that stylistically they don't really change anything up that much. The songs themselves are not bad. They are actually kind of good, and I get a good amount of enjoyment from each of the songs. But none of them really do that much to really stand out to me. The second song on this album, I'm just going to say track 2, does feature them kind of toning it down a little bit. And this sort of comes back again on the song Otvnet. I don't know how to say it, but that song really does give me a lot of Cure vibes with the overall instrumentation and style of that album, or of that song. And even a song like Discoteque really does see them embrace much more of a dance-oriented 80s sound. And overall, a lot of the tracks seem to follow through one of these two paths. It's either a more toned-down, Cure-sounding track, or it's a bit more upbeat, a bit more dance-oriented. It's usually one or the other. However, compared to some of their previous works, I feel like it's gotten to a point where Molchat Doma doesn't really seem to be adding that much stuff that's unique to this sound and to this genre that you don't already get, like I said, from artists in the 80s and 90s who have been doing this for a long time. And honestly, even compared to some of their contemporaries like Drab Majesty, I feel like Molchat Doma really does a good job recording and writing music of this style, but fails to do anything to really progress the genre forward. And, like I said, it is well executed. I overall had general enjoyment. I don't feel like it is nearly as crucial to the genre and to the progression of it as some people might make it out to be. And this kind of goes to the bigger picture. A lot of people hear this style, they don't hear it that often, so they automatically jump to the conclusion that this is really good, they are progressing the genre, but I really don't think they are. I mean, there's a lot of dark synth bands out there that have been around for quite a while that I think have honestly done more to progress the genre than Molchat Doma has. But don't take that the wrong way, I still overall sort of enjoyed this album. I just don't feel like it is nearly as influential and as crucial as some people make it out to be. With that being said, with my overall general enjoyment of it, even though I have a lot of complaints here and there. I didn't think it was bad. I thought that many of the songs were enjoyable, listenable, and overall well-executed songs, and I think that, while it doesn't do much to progress the genre, it does a good job doing the genre justice. And I have settled on giving Molchat Doma Monument a strong 6 out of 10. Anything above a 5 is good, anything below a 5 is negative. So a 6 out of 10 is positive. I did enjoy this. But once again, I just feel like Molchat Doma is really just playing into what they know best. They're playing into the 80s sound without really moving it forward. And while it is well executed, I just wish they went a little further. But at the end of the day, I did have general enjoyment of it. But, you know, I'm still only giving it a strong 6 out of 10, which is a good review, contrary to popular belief. And that is it for now. Molchat Doma Monument, strong 6 out of 10. Goodbye.